three news stories for you. Before that, two clarifications. In yesterday's video, I told you about an upcoming session of UN Human Rights Council about human rights situation in Ethiopia. The session was requested by European Union. African countries are members of UN Human Rights Council, but none of them signed this requisition for the upcoming session. So all African countries, we can say, are against this session. I said in the video that no African country was part of the council. No, African countries are a part of Human Rights Council, but all of them avoided calling for this special session. That is why this session has become Africa versus the West, and African countries are supporting Ethiopian government. Secondly, viewers, I did an exclusive news story about UN trucks being used by Ethiopian government forces in Cambodia. Then UN also issued statements, and reportedly Ethiopian government has returned most of these trucks. People say, Sajid, why aren't you discussing the trucks which are being used by Tigray government? Those are trucks of the UN as well. Well, firstly, I have done several news stories on those trucks too. But those are not trucks of UN's fleet. Those are not trucks of WFP's fleet. WFP hired trucks of the Lowell, Trans and other transport companies. And owners of most of these companies are from Tigray. The trucks went into Tigray, but they are not returning. But those are not UN's trucks. Those are not WFP's trucks. Those are trucks of private transport companies, and mostly the companies are owned by Tigrayans. Now, it was three news stories. Firstly, Debretsion Gebremichael, Tigray's president, last night issued a statement. He is addressing two sections of Tigrayans. These two sections are the two most important supporters or most important sections for Tigray in the ongoing conflict. Secondly, viewers, WHO head Dr. Tedros is being targeted. Ethiopian and Eritrean diaspora has launched a campaign for his removal. We'll have a look at that. And lastly, viewers, China has issued a statement against the US. China says that US wants to intervene militarily in countries in the name of human rights and democracy. The statement has come in response to Joe Biden's summit for democracy. The statement is being shared by Ethiopian government supporters as well. They say that the US wants to intervene in Ethiopia in the guise of human rights abuses. I'll show you the clip of Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson about alleged US military interventions in the world in the name of democracy and human rights abuses. Firstly, viewers, Debretsion Gebremichael, Tigray's president, just a few hours ago released a message. The message is for Tigray youth and Tigray diaspora. These two sections of Tigrayans are the most important sections because Tigray needs its youth to fight this war, and most of the fighters are definitely they are Tigray youth. Though I always say that Ethiopia is losing its precious asset, its youth, whether it's from Tigray, from Oromia, from Amhara. This youth is being wasted. So Debretsion is appreciating Tigray youth. He is saying that you should unite, you should stay united, you're fighting for Tigray. And secondly, he is addressing a Tigray diaspora. Tigray diaspora has played a key role, and its role will be important in coming days too, because Tigray needs money, and Tigray diaspora can provide money. And secondly, we have seen an effective no more street and social media campaign by Ethiopian and Eritrean diaspora. And to counter this campaign, Tigray diaspora would be very effective. That is why Debretsion is calling upon these two sections that they must remain united, and he is appreciating their work. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian and Eritrean diaspora has started a campaign for the removal of WHO head Dr. Tedros. Statements are also being issued by coordinators of this campaign. It's an organized campaign, viewers, not just statements. A petition has been drafted, a charge sheet has been prepared against Dr. Tedros, and now protests will be carried out. This petition will be sent to relevant bodies. What is written in this statement, in this petition? The campaign coordinators say that Dr. Tedros is not impartial. He is a member of Tigray People Liberation Front. And secondly, they claim that when Dr. Tedros was a minister with a TPLF-led Ethiopian federal government, he tried to cover up a cholera outbreak, firstly. And secondly, they say that Dr. Tedros discriminated against Amharas during his tenure as a minister with Ethiopian government of Tigray People Liberation Front. And they have shared some numbers, some figures, data as well. And they are saying that based upon this data, it's proven that Dr. Tedros discriminated against Amharas, and he was supporting Tigrayans. He tried to cover up cholera outbreak in Ethiopia when he was a minister. Now, let's see what happens, how international bodies, WHO, respond to this petition. That remains to be seen. But it seems that in coming days, we could see massive rallies, protests in front of WHO offices, in front of UN offices in the US, in the UK and other countries as well, for the removal of Dr. Tedros, who is eyeing another term as head of World Health Organization. Lastly, viewers, Chinese Foreign Ministry has issued a video message. It is lashing out at the US. It says that the US is used to militarily intervene in countries in the name of democracy and human rights abuses. And now the era of military interventions in the guise of human rights and democracy is over. This statement, video statement, it is being shared by Ethiopian government supporters too. They say that US wants to intervene, the West wants to intervene in Ethiopia in the name of human rights abuses allegedly having been committed by Ethiopian and Eritrean forces. An upcoming session of UN Human Rights Council is also being referred to as evidence that the West is trying to put pressure upon Ethiopian government. The session is due to take place on Friday. Take a listen to what Chinese Foreign Ministry says about alleged US military interventions in different countries in the guise of human rights and democracy. Thanks for watching.
美军在阿富汗杀害平民的暴行不可接受，美国以各种理由为凶手开脱，使其免受惩罚的行为更令人无法容忍。当美方在领导人民主峰会上大谈民主人权的时候，那些死于美军枪口下的阿富汗无辜民众却没有人过问，他们家人的冤屈却无处申诉。 这就是美国鼓吹的民主人权带给世界的残酷现实。我们谴责美方打着民主人权旗号对阿富汗、伊拉克、叙利亚等国发动军事干涉的野蛮行径。我们呼吁国际社会对美军在世界各地滥杀无辜平民的战争罪行进行调查追责。正义或许会迟到，但不会缺席。美国以所谓民主人权为借口，在世界上恣意妄为的时代已经结束。美军杀害各国无辜平民的罪行受到侵犯的一天终将来临。